This week's parasha we have the very, very important mitzvah of ואהבת לרעך כמוך. And as we know, Rabbi Akiva said, "Ze klal גדול בתורה." It's the biggest klal in the Torah. I want to share with you a Sfas Emess I saw that really resonated with me, and I think it's a very powerful understanding of what this means. Sfas Emess says that klal gadol b'Torah means that when we do mitzvahs and we learn Torah and we do what the Torah HaShem tells us in the Torah to do, it should be in a way of klal, that we should include ourselves in the klal. And he says this is what it means when we say, there's a big idiom to say before mitzvah, before davening, b'shem Kol Yisrael. We should do it in the name of all of Kol Yisrael. Because the real akdosha of a person is when they're not on alone, when they don't feel themselves as a separate individual, but rather we do mitzvahs as part of Kol Yisrael. Now what does that mean? It means that when we want to daven and we think to ourselves, me, daven to HaShem, you know what I did yesterday? You know what I'm very likely to do later on today? I'm not worthy of davening. I don't connect, I'm not part of this davening thing. But when we realize that it's not me that's davening individually, because it's part of Kol Yisrael davening to HaShem. Hashem created the world b'shvil Yisrael, which means Hashem created the world because He wanted to be individuals in the world that are part of a klal, that turn to Him and daven to Him and do mitzvahs for Him. So that's why we should never feel that our Torah and mitzvahs is for ourselves only, and because that could lead us to hurt people on the way, because I need to do my davening and everything's more important. My davening, of course, I'm doing it for Hashem. But when we do mitzvahs b'shem Kol Yisrael, then we realize that it's so much bigger than us. And then when we include even Yidden that don't know about Hashem, and Yidden that don't daven, or Yidden that aren't able or don't know about mitzvahs, and when we have them in mind, then we can realize that every Yid is special, and even the parts of us that we are not so happy about, the part of us that is a bit like those Yidden that don't know about Hashem, even that we can include. So b'shem Kol Yisrael can be not only all the Yidden around the world, it can also be all the Yid of us, every part of us, even the parts that are not so good, even that's included in the davening. And Sfas Emess goes a step further. He says, as the Medrash says, there's another klal gadol b'Torah, which is Zeh Sefer Toldos Adam, which means it's talking about the generations. So he says that not only do we daven b'shem Kol Yisrael for all of Yidden, we also daven b'shem Kol Yisrael all the Jewish souls in all generations. So when we're davening together with Avraham Avinu, davening together with the Ovis, with Moshe Rabbeinu, with all the tzaddikim, with the Baal Shem Tov. So we're not alone. We are part of the Klal Yisrael, the unified, wholesome Jewish collective soul that is constantly davening to Hashem. So we don't need to be perfect to daven. And then when we do daven, it's not us that's davening, it's just Klal Yisrael davening. So that's the most beautiful way. ואהבת לרעך כמוך, says Sfas Emess. Don't daven just for yourself. Of course we daven for ourselves to make our neshama holier, and we should give nachas ruach to Hashem, but we want all of Kol Yisrael to give nachas ruach to Hashem, because that's what Hashem wants. Hashem wants all of His children to be giving Him mitzvahs and Torah. So when we have in mind all of Kol Yisrael, we have now boosted our own davening, because we have all of Kol Yisrael along with us for the ride. So we should be zoocheh every time we do a mitzvah to say b'shem Kol Yisrael, to have in mind b'shem Kol Yisrael, to really connect ourselves, like the Baal Shem Tov and the Arizal and all the tzaddikim said, that the only way to really do a mitzvah properly is to include ourselves in all of Kol Yisrael, ואהבת לרעך כמוך, and that's how we can daven to Hashem as part of His people, and that's how we are very, very infinitely valuable, and we should all be zoocheh to have all peace and love with all our Yidden and with ourselves. We should all have a gewaldige Shabbos.